here? Do we know? Testing. 1, 2. Testing. Looking for it. We are live.
Are we?
I do believe we're live.
Hey, we are. Excellent.
All right. Welcome back to Plundering Leviathan, a podcast of North Center Church where our aim is to reclaim culture's gold for Christ's glory. And we are happy to be back with a bearded, not as long of a beard, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And a typically shorn Steve.
Yeah.
As is the case, I lament with Clement that my beard is not long and beautiful. But
You usually keep it stubble.
Stubble, yes, short and stubbly, but it is what God gave me, and it's taken almost 53 years to get it to fill into this degree, and I just don't think it's going to fill in much more. I'm sorry. But you, on the other hand, have the ability to grow like an 18-inch beard in the matter of, like overnight, it seems?
My beard was this long last January. And I know this because I'm doing daily podcasts with Treasuring the Text.
Yep.
And so I went back to see in early January, this is how long my beard was. And I just trimmed it, which is breaking the Levitical code. But I trimmed it, like a month ago?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was down, I don't know, it was down to here maybe. And I've never grown it longer than like about a year.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know what it could be.
Well, I've heard that you have to trim it once a year. Like you made some kind of a pact with the...
Yeah, but not in, like I didn't sign anything. Like my name doesn't appear anywhere with this pact.
Yeah. We won't delve into that further, but just say, to keep the peace, you do once a year, cut that thing down, and sometimes a little closer. This time you left it a little longer.
Yeah.
Which is good, because, the chin must remain covered.
It must. Thank you for that.
We'll post some old pictures of
that's rude.
Of clean shaven Jeremiah. Anyway, You look good, man. It's good to see you.
So how do you really feel?
Yeah, I think I like your long beard, brother. I have beard envy when it comes to your beard often, and I'm not afraid to say that, because I cannot grow that thing like that. I remember at Bethlehem Conference, first time I went, walking around, and they were these just majestic beards at the conference, and these guys. I was on the app, and like there were messages that you could get like on the conference app when you're there, and I kept seeing messages about the beard crew or something. I don't know what they called themselves, but they did.
There was
there
was a group.
You weren't a part of that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, they had like a beard crew at the conference, and then they would meet once during the conference, and they would take pictures and they would exchange.
Why wasn't I invited?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't invited, so neither.
Well, obviously you weren't invited.
I was just stalking them from the app and seeing this, but
it's not a stubble crew.
It was. It's not a stubble crew. So that was my introduction to, in the Reformed world, which Reformed Christianity, the beard is kind of a thing. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, it is. I spoke at a church down in, where is it, Hopkins?
Yeah. Hopkins. Yep, the Ukrainian.
Yeah. A couple months ago, and they had their banner for their men's group. So it was a men's event, maybe 60 guys there or something, and they had this banner behind the pulpit of a silhouette of a man, and that was their iconic representation of their church men.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that.
It was
a lot like you.
It was this beautiful beard.
Except he didn't have glasses.
So they drew the glasses on. They changed their logo because of me.
Which is interesting. Do a lot of those Ukrainian guys have the big beard?
Almost. I don't know about the big beard, but everyone. I mean, not everyone.
Yeah.
The vast majority of the guys there had a very good beard.
Good beard. you haven't figured out yet by either the title or the conversation, we're here to talk about beards, facial hair,
To beard or not to beard.
to beard or not to beard. Don't look weird, grow a beard.
What would Jesus shave?
These are titles that we're trying to figure out. You know, how do you title this podcast? And,
The War on Whiskers.
yeah, no longer be bear, but grow a beard. I don't know, that's a bad one. But
Yeah.
be like a bear, grow a beard. Be like a lion. Lions have beards.
They do.
A lion mane.
Yep.
They have good beards.
They do.
Yeah.
Lion has a good beard.
Right. So we want to talk about like what happened to the beard. It seemed for a long time it fell off. Like no pun intended, but hey, maybe that's what happened. Maybe it fell off. I don't know. It seems like it's harder to grow. I think for millennial or even like Gen Z, it seems harder. I think for some to grow a beard, and I wonder if that's related to some of our hormonal problems in the in the male species specifically. You know, I saw something this morning again about testosterone, and from the year 2000 to the year 2015, there was a 30% drop in testosterone.
Wow.
in the average male. So it went from like 600 and some nanograms per deciliter testosterone, and then down in 2015, 10 years later, or 15 years later, from 2000 to 2015, to like 400 or something. I mean, it's a drastic drop in testosterone. So,
which would inevitably have an impact on your ability to grow facial hair.
I would imagine, like, I don't know the exact mechanism in the body for, facial hair, but I would assume that testosterone has something to do with it. When people that are transitioning from like female to male, doing that thing with my fingers, they often are able now to grow a beard.
Yeah,
because they're taking testosterone. So I'm not a hormonal doctor or a men's health doctor, but I'm assuming it has something to do with that.
Yeah,
and they do. Like that's one of the things. I know. I know a young lady who has undergone pretty much the full transformation, and she has grown a pretty thick beard over the course of the 5 years that I've known her.
Yep.
And that's often what you see when they do transition is they're going to go to the beard. I'm sure Elliot Page before long will probably grow a beard.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have one now, but she was in the Odyssey as
I know.
Ellen Page, now Elliot Page.
And I was lamenting. So Liz and I went and saw that, and I was lamenting afterwards as we were leaving the theater. She was such a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And now she is, and she presents as an unattractive man.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's a very sad thing. And what did she play in that? There was rumors that she was going to play Achilles, but
no,
do you remember the role she had?
See, I'm reading through the Odyssey right now for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And so I haven't finished the book yet. That was my first introduction to the Odyssey. And she plays this, one of Odysseus's warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. What is she, like 4'6"?
Yeah. It's amazing. Like you see her surrounded by men.
Yeah.
And there's just this visible difference, which brings us back to the beard.
Yeah.
By God's design, men were created to, in appearance, look so very different from women.
Yeah.
And women were, by God's design, created to look so very different from men. And even when you try to rewrite the script, you can't. And so, she might be able to grow a beard. I also have a young lady who was just a dear friend of mine years ago. I had that privilege of baptizing her. And she was striking. I've shown you pictures. And she underwent the transition stuff, and now she has a beard. And but in all of that, you can't undo what God has done in creation to say this is different than this, and this is different than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is. We were designed different. We've hit on that topic over and over and over again in a world where they're trying to erase distinctions between male and female, and in a world where we're told there is absolute equality amongst the sexes, which we affirm that there's equality in value,
Yeah.
but there's distinctions in role and purpose and design. We want to say that men, we're going to make a case, I guess,
Good.
is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to make a case as to why we believe men should be bearded, ought to be bearded. Is that too strong a statement?
Well, I like ought.
There's an oughtness to this.
I think there's an oughtness or a fittedness. It is fitting. Maybe you would say, maybe the best way would be to say it is fitting
Sure.
for a man to grow a beard.
Granted, not all men can.
Correct.
Like there's,
Correct.
I want to say Native Americans have a very difficult time with facial hair, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know any Native Americans that have facial hair.
Yeah. So I think that is an actual,
personally.
Right, that's an actual thing. So I
Yep.
mean, there's going to be, obviously, there's always going to be outliers.
Yep.
Right. There's God made different ethnicities different.
Yep.
Different individuals that cannot. But if you can grow facial hair,
Yep.
you're saying someone ought to.
I've told my wife numerous times that I feel like I'm sinning if I was to shave my beard. You know, like with great genes comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Right? Right? And
Not to be too humble about it. But with great genes.
Look, that's nothing.
Look, here, don't get me started
Stop.
on your soy millennial pants. Soy-lineal
This
jeans.
has nothing to do with my buckle,
like
white stitch.
Could you just buy some
jeans.
Levi's, bro? How about some Wranglers?
No, because
Please?
Levi's don't do this,
golly.
man.
Oh,
Levi's don't.
oh. I don't want to see it. For those listening online, if you can't show it, you have to go back to the YouTube video and see what just happened there, because that is
Levi's doesn't.
It was awful. You just did a little like spin on the catwalk.
They
They showed me the back of your pants. What? How much fabric went into those designs on those pockets? Those are those skinny jeans?
They're not.
Let me find out.
How is it that you would like to find out?
No, I mean, I don't. But if I was to find out that you're actually rocking the skinny jeans,
I'm not. Look, they're not skinny jeans. I wouldn't be able to. I can grab a fistful of jeans here.
They're practically spandex. Like they're so. Look at this. You pull on them. All right. Anyway, his soy lineal pants over here says that he has great genes. Now you meant Genes jeans.
Genes. That's the one.
Not Jeans.
Correct.
Sorry, sidetrack.
Right. Which has nothing to do with me. So it's not like a look at me.
Sure.
What I have done. That's just what I have received.
Yes.
My dad had a great beard.
Okay.
I received his genes, and with a great potential for a great beard comes great responsibility. Because not everybody, like you've already said, not everybody can do it. And I think if you can, it is fitting that you do.
Okay.
You ought to.
And that's the case we want to make.
Yes,
I think this podcast today.
I think there's a fittedness to men growing a beard.
I found some cool quotes. So let's see.
Oh, you want to start with quotes?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's make a case from history.
All right.
I mean, you can go to creation, but we don't know if Adam was bearded or not bearded when he was formed out of the dust.
I'd like to go to creation.
You would like to start there?
No, let's not start there.
We'll
we can
go
start with your quotes.
Let's go to guys closer to creation. So, Clement of Alexandria, somewhere around the 2nd century to early 3rd century.
We're also going to be talking. We're going to mention his name today in the sermon.
Clement?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going to preach the footnotes.
No, well, I'm going to highlight a couple of the guys in the footnotes.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Good for you for going to that. Anyway, he wrote a book called The Instructor or Pedagogus, and in book 3 he says this. I think this is great. But for one who is a man to comb himself and shave himself with a razor, for the sake of fine effect. And this is
So for the sake of looking good.
for fine effect, right? Yeah. Or to shave his cheeks, pluck hairs out of them and smooth them. How womanly. This is what Clement said. For God wished women to be smooth and rejoice in their locks alone, growing spontaneously as a horse in his mane, but has adorned man like the lions with a beard, and endowed him as an attribute of manhood with shaggy breasts. So, chest hair. A sign this of strength and rule.
Is that what he means by shaggy breasts?
For sure. I hope that's what he means.
Chest
He
hair.
didn't say saggy. He said shaggy.
Oh, I heard saggy.
No, he said
Shaggy.
Shaggy. I need to enunciate better. I'll repeat.
I was trying to figure out.
God, not saggy. God, I'll go back. Quote, Clement says, he has adorned man like the lions with a beard and endowed him as an attribute of manhood with shaggy breasts. A sign of strength and rule. This, then, the mark of the man, the beard, by which he is seen to be a man, is older than Eve and is the token of superior nature. You can get into that some other time. You know, I don't know, Lactantius, 3rd century. I'm not familiar with this particular church father, but he wrote on the workmanship of God in chapter 7, the nature of the beard, quote, the nature of the beard contributes in an incredible degree to distinguish the maturity of bodies, or to the distinction of sex, or to the beauty of manliness and strength.
Yeah.
And we could go on.
Yeah, so that's a good one because that actually ties into several things. One, it distinguishes between the sexes, and it distinguishes between boyhood and manhood.
Yes.
There's something about a beard on a young man as it's beginning to grow in, where everybody recognizes he is transitioning from a boy into a man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rite of passage, if you will, when you have to teach your young lad to shave.
That's fun, yeah.
Which brings up the question, why do we teach young men to shave? We should be teaching them to keep growing it out. I don't know. You know, they get those little what are they, whiskers, fuzzy.
Peach fuzz.
That's it, peach fuzz. I was trying to remember what we called it. Peach fuzz, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which maybe shave the peach fuzz until it comes in a little like.
Oh man,
riskier.
Wonder if I could find an old picture of my chops. I had.
Oh, I've seen those.
I had some killer chops.
You did.
And when I was young, 12, 13, 14, all I had to work with was the peach fuzz, and so I worked with it.
peach fuzzy chops. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, distinction of the sexes when a young man goes through puberty, he gets that dose of testosterone, and he goes temporarily insane, most of them, but they also start growing a beard. I've heard that before, by the way. Like literally going through puberty.
It's like going insane.
It's like they lose their mind. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. You've got 4 boys.
I've got 4 boys.
You've watched 3 go through puberty. Yeah.
Yep. That's fair.
But so is it a sign of insanity that you grow a beard, or is it a sign of maturity? Obviously, maybe both.
Maturity.
Oh, okay.
It's not both.
So a distinction, right? Men can grow beards. Women usually can't.
Yeah, and so again, there's always outliers, right? There's always the little boy that has an abnormally amount of facial hair. There's always the woman that grows more facial hair than women generally are able to grow. But as a general rule, boys don't have facial hair, women don't have facial hair, men
Mhm.
can grow facial hair by God's design as a way to distinguish. And now this isn't the only mark, but it's a mark.
Mhm.
Man, not woman.
Sure.
Man, not boy.
Yeah. It's so important, again, in today's age, where they want to blur the distinctions between man and woman, that we can tell who is a man, who is a woman.
Yep.
And
And things like, so Johnny Erickson Tada was talking one time about being at a worship event, and the speaker invited everybody to kneel, and she can't because she's a quadriplegic. And so as the congregation was worshiping on their knees, she was sitting in her chair, and she was worshiping with them in tears that she couldn't join them on her knees, but that one day she would. And the first thing that she's going to do when God gives her the ability to walk is she's going to fall to her knees, is what she says. Which is such a cool image, right?
Yeah.
When God gives me the ability to stand, the first thing I'm going to do is fall to my knees. So is Johnny Erickson Tada sinning in that moment because she can't kneel? Well, not at all, right? And nobody thinks that. Nobody's gonna say that. If she could get on her knees, that's where she would have been.
Sure.
And I think I'm not going to make a line that's that strong with the beard, but I think if God has given a man, especially in this our day, the ability to grow the beard as he has designed men to grow, or to grow it, I think it's right that he does.
Yeah.
I think it's wise that he does.
You got your Bible open. That usually indicates a pastor wants to say something.
Let's talk Bible just a little bit. So if you're unconvinced, I want to make and the Bible doesn't make it a huge deal, relatively speaking, about whether we should have a beard or shouldn't have a beard. It's not a thou shalt not shave thine beard in the 10 Commandments. You do get it in the Levitical code, Leviticus 19, Leviticus 21, dealing with the Levites in particular, in the context of worship in particular, as a way to distinguish them from the pagan idolatrous worship around them. God gave them instructions on what to do with their beard. But God also gave them a lot of other instructions that we don't adhere to in the Levitical law today, because Jesus set us free from the law. And so we're not saying that we're going to go to Leviticus and use that principle or that law for how we think about our facial hair today. But the Bible does have something to say. Point is, the Bible does have something to say about beards, and we can glean something, I think, helpful from the principle.
Fair.
Our call to worship this morning, did you connect this? Did you look at it?
I did.
I didn't think about this ahead of time, but so we're going through the Psalms.
I thought that's why you did this.
No, we're going through the Psalms as our call to worship on the Lord's Day. Every Sunday morning we read the passage from the next Psalm. And so we've been doing this now for about 3 years. And this morning we are going to be, so as we're recording this, it's Lord's Day, Sunday morning. And our call to worship this morning is Psalm 133, which goes, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious oil upon the head, running down on the beard of Aaron, running down on the edge of his garments." It's like oil. When Christians dwell together in unity, it's a beautiful thing. And how might we describe this beautiful thing? Like oil running down the beard. And not just any beard, but the beard of the high priest of God's people, Aaron. That is the picture of how beautiful it is when Christians dwell together in unity. It's like oil running down the beard of Aaron.
Such a strange passage.
Right?
Like,
in our culture today, at any rate.
Right. Oil running down the beard symbolizes the unity of the brethren.
Right.
Trying to think of that.
Right.
Like, okay, the beard before the oil, the beard is all separate. Maybe, right? There's you can distinguish the the different
Whiskers
of hair that run. But then with when the oil runs down the beard, it it all becomes
together.
one. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought of that.
That's good.
I've often been bewildered as to how oil running down a high priest beard symbolizes unity.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there.
Have you seen? You have. When I read this passage, I think of Jeff Durbin's beard.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He's got a good beard.
He has a great beard. That's what I'm always going for, and my progress always gets cut short.
That's. Boom. Keep working on it.
Yeah. His beard is like a unit. It's not one hair here, like a bunch of hairs.
Sure.
If you Jeff Durbin,
yeah,
his beard is like one thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of beard oil in that beard,
and I think that's what it.
Yeah, he spends some time.
He does.
Yeah, no question.
I got a gift card for Christmas years ago to a barber that is no longer in operation. It was in the center of the Mall of America, so I don't know what that center place is called.
The Rotunda.
Yeah, the Rotunda. This glass facility in the Rotunda, so everybody can see what's happening inside. It was called the Art of Shaving.
Yeah.
And I got a shave, and it was. Okay, so don't make fun of me because I did. This is what they did. I was just
fun making is about to happen.
I was just a recipient, but they set me down in my chair, and they put cucumbers on my eyes.
Yep. And then you took a hot towel.
Yeah.
You steaming hot towel.
I think I got 6 different hot towels.
Sure.
Over the course of the shave.
Over your face, and you got a trim.
Yep. So yep.
And then you took out the razor.
No. Here's the thing. When the guy's trimming my beard, he was so good that he used scissors. And it was like a cartoon. He's got like 2 things. I don't know if it was a comb or maybe it was a comb, maybe it was scissors or something. But he's doing this, and I'm laying in my chair, and I can see hair flying around like it was a cartoon. I'm like, how in the world is this guy trimming a beard with scissors?
How did you see it with the cucumbers on your eyes?
But that was after I got my cucumbers taken off. They weren't there the whole time. It's like some relaxing thing. Not the whole time. Got down, it was $80. $80 for a beard trim. I didn't even get shaved, right? I was getting it trimmed.
Did he do the neckline with the straight razor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Like the old
school.
Yeah.
Like you feel like this guy, if you say the wrong thing, he could just slit your jugular and it's all over.
He could. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oof.
Yep.
Well, and the place you go to now, the barbershop here in Brooklyn Park or wherever, they spend a lot of time on trimming and
they do.
Yeah. It's meticulous.
Yeah.
Like if you want an hour-long haircut and beard trim, go to a black barber and they will line that thing up like perfect.
Yeah.
It's just meticulous.
Yep.
Yeah. But they don't give you the cucumbers.
I never got the cucumbers.
They wouldn't give you the cucumbers.
No. I wouldn't
accept. That would be seen as rather, I don't know, what's the word?
Let's not.
Womanly.
Yeah, how does Clement say it?
Womanly. Clement would say that is very womanly.
Yeah.
Of you to.
Yep.
To have cucumbers put on your eyes.
I didn't ask for the cucumbers. They just.
Is this like a nightly practice for you? The cucumbers on the eyes? Have you adopted this into your routine?
No.
Cucumbers on the eyes?
No, I was gonna say something smart, but.
But then you realized
we're live.
Wise.
Yep.
So the Bible speaks to beards. I mean, the Bible speaks to what happens when a man's beard is cut.
Let's go to Genesis first and then go there. I just want to say it, which isn't going to take long, but is to say God. We've already mentioned this, but just to be really clear, when you read the creation of men and women in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, it's just, I think, so important to hear God say, man, woman. And there was something about Eve that was so strikingly, and I'm going to say many somethings about Eve that were so different.
Probably involved cucumbers.
Probably cucumbers.
I'm sure she put cucumbers on her eyes.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
I think that's probably what it was. Yep. Thank you. I was on a roll, man.
Sorry. Women, yeah, Eve was different.
And I wonder, you don't see this in, you mentioned earlier, you don't see this in a lot of the portrayals of Adam, but you do see this in some portrayals of Adam, even some old portrayals of Adam, that I wonder if one of the differences wasn't that Eve's face was clean.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that set her apart as different. Now, we don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do know is God intended for Eve to be so very different in so many ways, including her physical appearance, that Adam would say, like me, of me, but different.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so I think beards are a way to distinguish. And Paul even talks about this, right? We did this on the head coverings episode, but 1 Corinthians 11, Paul says, doesn't nature itself teach you that men and women are different?
Mm-hmm.
Nature, and particularly Paul goes into the hair on your head
Mm-hmm.
and says that ought to teach you that men and women are different. And he doesn't go into the beard in that, in that particular episode of 1 Corinthians. But nature itself you should look at the man and look at the woman, and by nature, there should be things about their nature that says, yep, man, yep, woman.
I think he does to the hair. He says, "What a woman with long hair is to her glory." Is that the quote?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that her hair is her glory.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. And so maybe, right, for men, the beard is. Maybe we're stretching it a little bit. The beard could be to his glory.
I think biblically we might be, maybe, but honestly, once we get, maybe not. Once we get to the story of David's guys,
yeah,
I don't think we would be stretching it,
right? Because a sign of shame, right?
But I've told Liz often whenever it comes time to shave, I lament that I feel like I'm losing my favorite feature of me. I mean, of all the qualities that Jeremiah has,
the long beard is to your glory.
It's I feel like I'm losing more than hair.
I mean, you don't have a lot to work with, so the beard, you have nice hair. You're a handsome man.
Yeah, okay. Jeremiah. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Should we talk about... Steve and I were both complimented recently about our looks. Should we tell that story?
We don't need to tell that story. But in fact, yes. I think I was called handsome and you were not mentioned. If I remember. But I don't know why. She was on drugs. For what it's worth. Can't necessarily take that as evidence of anything. And she was talking to the basketball hoop.
She was. Right before she called you handsome.
I think she called the basketball hoop tall and dreamy. Tall, dark, and handsome. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth.
All right. So, moving on. The Bible says nature teaches us that we're different. The second flow in Scripture is to see that every time the Bible goes at lengths to describe, which isn't often, but to describe a man's facial features, we see the beard. Mm-hmm. Right. So David has a beard. The high king of Israel. Aaron has a beard. The high priest of Israel. Jesus has a beard. How do we know this? Isaiah. They plucked his beard. He gave them his beard to be plucked. So Jesus, the Messiah, the one who is a prophet and yet more than a prophet. So that's just interesting that you have the high king, high priest, the greatest of all prophets and yet more than a prophet. The Bible writers go out of their way to say beard, beard.
Mm-hmm.
Beard.
Sure. Yep.
So we already mentioned the Levitical code. So Leviticus 19:27, Leviticus 21 verse 5, which was just a means of distinguishing Israel's worship under the old covenant from pagan worship. And just like tattoos, so we made the argument, if you go back and watch the tattoo episode or listen to the tattoo episode, my argument was the reason that the Levites were told not to cut themselves or make markings was for the dead in particular,
Mm-hmm.
which was an act of pagan worship. I think probably what's happening in Leviticus 19 and 21 when it comes to the facial hair
Mm-hmm.
is that these pagan priests were cutting and marring their facial features in such a way as to give homage to their false gods.
Mm-hmm.
And God says, you're not gonna worship me the way that they worship me. That's going to be
Mm-hmm.
represented in every part of you, including your face.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yep. I'll buy that. Or to make bald spots on their head as
Yep.
well. There was something about that.
Yes.
Which the monks did.
Yeah, right.
Some of the monks. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's
interesting. Shave the top of their head.
Friar Tuck.
Yeah. Oh.
That'd be an interesting study.
Yeah, it would.
Now we move to almost whenever you see, there's an interesting exception with Joseph that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Joseph shaved himself
before he met the Pharaoh.
Before he went to Pharaoh.
Yeah. Well, because they were cleanly shaven.
The Egyptians.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They loved the bare face for some reason.
So the Egyptians are not God worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And so why would Joseph shave his beard? You're right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we talked about it. Done.
Is that why?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's in a pagan place.
Yeah.
He's going to present himself before a pagan king.
Sure.
And
he was probably looking a little shaggy and haggard.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in prison for a few years. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, probably was looking shaggy. In fact, Mephibosheth, when he wasn't being cared for by David, the Bible describes his unkemptness as having a mustache that had not been trimmed.
Yeah. What?
Mephibosheth.
Mephibosheth. I've been saying it wrong all these years.
Yeah?
I think I've always said Mephibosheth or something.
Yeah, you've been saying it wrong all these years.
Say it again.
Mephibosheth.
3 times real fast. I'm just kidding. Okay.
2 Samuel 19:24.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Mephibosheth.
Yeah, he was allowed to stay in the king's home. He was Saul's nephew. Is that what you said? It was a relative of Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah, so David takes the throne.
Yep.
And he allows Mephi to stay at the table and eat.
Meph.
But he was when David was gone.
Yep.
He mourned by growing his mustache, long and unkept.
Which is such a cool story of David taking in an enemy, wanting to show love.
Yeah.
To Saul's family for the sake of his brother Jonathan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And says, who can I bring to my table? And he brings in a man that has nothing to offer David whatsoever.
Yeah. Good old Mephi.
Yeah.
Loyal Mephi.
Tell us about the event of David's men getting shorn.
Oh yeah, didn't they? Was it King Hammon or Hannon?
Hannon. Yeah,
Hannon. That's right. So they did. They were beaten. I think didn't they cut the backs of their pants to expose their butts?
Yeah, they exposed all the cheeks.
The cheeks, yeah, and the cheeks of their face.
All the cheeks.
Right. Interesting. I didn't make that connection. Yeah, so they cut the backs of their pants, so they ran away, exposing their bottom, and they cut their beards. Yeah, they shaved the not all of it.
Right.
Right, but they marred their beards.
Yep, half of their beards
as a sign of shame and conquering.
Yeah. 2 Samuel 10 is the story.
Yeah.
There's a new king of the Ammonites, and there's been peace between the nations. David sends a group of men to give the right hand of fellowship, as it were, to the new king.
Mm-hmm.
And the new king gets bad intel from his advisors and says these guys are here to spy us out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so to shame David's men, and really, I mean, this is, yeah, shame is the best way that we could say it.
Sure. Yeah, it was a sign of shame and conquering, defeat.
2 Samuel 10:4. Therefore Hanun took David's servants, shaved off half of their beards, cut off their garments in the middle at their buttocks, and sent them away.
The Bible is fascinating, right?
Right?
Like, there's in the Old King James, there's a verse that talked about, I think it was was it the Egyptians, or was it a sign of condemnation on the Israelis, that they'll be taken captive, and that, I think, quote unquote, they'll have their asses put to work. Speaking of donkeys, like,
Yeah.
and now we get buttocks.
Right. Because of how language changes, the Old King James is very fascinating to read
Right.
today.
It is.
Yep.
A lot of words we wouldn't use. Buttocks. I wonder what the Hebrew is.
Yeah, I don't know what the Hebrew is for that.
buttocks.
Yeah, for buttocks. Yep.
But they shaved half their beards, not all of them.
Yep.
But half the beards. And
Cut off their garments halfway. And then what does David do? Does David say, well, that's fine, just shave the rest of your beard and come on back?
No, he says, quote, verse 5, wait at Jericho until your beards have grown, and then return.
Right. So the question is, why wouldn't David just say, I mean, so while they wait in Jericho for their beards to grow back, that's not going to happen overnight. This is months now.
Mm-hmm.
This is months that they're away from their home, they're away from their family, they're away from their king. Why does David say, why not just say, shave your beard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the answer, Pastor?
Because so what you read is they were greatly ashamed. It was a shame. It was a sign of shame, both for them personally and for them nationally, I think.
Mm-hmm. And the beard was the symbol.
And the beard was a symbol. Yep. Yeah. And so David says, no, don't come back with no beard.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till your beards grow back.
Yeah, that's good.
And then come home.
All right, give us some more biblical proof texts. Do you have any more?
Well, I mean,
if that's all we have a weak case.
Yeah, so like, I don't want to. The idea is not necessarily to proof text, right? But like you see,
not a bad thing.
So
can be.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm not. Isaiah and Ezekiel both record that when God is going to judge a people, one of the descriptors is, I'm going to shave your beard. Yeah. So you think of like the cosmic imagery that we read about in the Olivet Discourse. Jesus says, the sun isn't going to shine, the moon's going to, the stars are going to fall. Mm-hmm. And we know that's not literal, because we've seen it every time it appears in the Old Testament. God speaks that way to Babylon, and he shuts Babylon's lights off. Mm-hmm. He speaks that way to Assyria. Done, gone, game over. And when God speaks again, so similarly of destruction of a people,
does he talk about cucumbers?
No, the cucumbers never.
Cucumber slices on
no,
the
eyes? I don't see that anywhere. And I'm just looking at. It could be a translation thing.
Could be a translation thing. It's somewhere there. But when he talks of these things, he uses symbolic language.
Isaiah 7:20, God speaking of coming judgment. In the same day, the Lord will shave with a hired razor, like a foreign people.
Sure.
The head and the hair of the legs, and will also remove the beard. Mm-hmm. Like when they hear that, they're meant to think, oh, wow, he's taking away the beard.
Judgment.
Yeah. Ezra 9:3, same thing. I'm going to take away your beard. Oh, no, what? Mm-hmm. And that just doesn't land on us at all in our 21st century Western world today, because, the beard is, it's just a cultural choice.
Sure.
Like, right. Like if it's whatever, if you like it, if it looks good for you, if your wife's okay with it.
Actually, so my job that I have now, beards were actually prohibited. So
right.
You had
Yes.
to be clean shaven to work for the company that I work for now, which has been now changed. We have a new CEO. They changed that rule. Now you can grow beards, but they have to be trimmed, and they can't be like longer than whatever it was. But
so let's talk about that real quick. Why is it that we got to that point?
Yeah.
In our, I'm particularly focused on our Western world. I don't know globally what the trend has been, but in the West, all the pictures you see from, once upon a time, think of like Abraham Lincoln. His iconic beard was not actually all that iconic.
No, it was pretty standard for the day.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Everybody had that kind of a beard.
Yeah.
Let's go to like Billy Graham.
Absolutely,
I don't think I've ever seen a photo of him with a beard.
Sure. Yeah.
And then fast forward to today, there's a resurgence of the beard.
Oh, sure.
The beard's making a comeback.
Yeah. Beard's made a comeback. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. That's a good question. We didn't delve into that topic, or of the cultural appropriation of, clean shavenness, whatever that is. But I know growing up personally, it was a thing to have a clean shaven face. I mean, to the point where we had electric razors so that you could shave every day with the electric razor. When you went to interview for a job, it was customary and seen as polite to be clean shaven. The 5 o'clock shadow became a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Where we talked about the 5 o'clock shadow. So guys would actually have an electric razor at work so that they can get the 5 o'clock shadow off. Clean shavenness became a sign of professionalism, maybe.
Yep. Maturity.
Sure.
So
maybe not. I don't know about
I think
maturity,
so.
but
no, I think so.
In the professional world, it was a thing to be.
You were seen as something of a rebel with facial hair. Yeah,
the goatee became like a sign. I know that like when I first started to grow a beard, I grew a goatee, and so I had a goatee for years. Or not, I don't know if you call it that, but, some mustache and then squared off at the edges, and that was seen as kind of, that felt rebellious to have a goatee.
How big was it?
Like big. Like, what do you mean big? You mean long? Wasn't very long.
Okay.
Wasn't very big. I don't know. It was as big as my face.
Yeah, long.
Yeah, very long.
Well, it could have been bigger back then.
It was a long face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it was a sign. It felt like a sign of rebellion, kind of like.
Well, so I mean, Christian colleges, if they were the fundamental Christian colleges, they wouldn't allow the guys to have a beard. Mm-hmm. Like I was thinking there was several different colleges I was contemplating going to. One was in Owatonna, one was down in Pensacola, and the reason, no joke, the reason I didn't apply to these schools is because I wouldn't be allowed to have facial hair.
That was a rule.
Oh, wow. If you grew facial hair, like if your 5 o'clock shadow actually developed into something, you would get a demerit. Wow. And so many demerits, and you get kicked out. So it was in my high school. I could grow my chops down to like a certain level, like nose length or something, but no facial hair over your mouth. Why? We were told it's a sign of rebellion.
Yeah. Oh, wild.
And so where does that come from? Here's my short pitch. I think this would be. I don't know. I've not done tons of research on this, but here's what I think. When you read the story of the beard in the Bible, such as we have it, the kings have it, the priests have it, Messiah has it. It's a sign of shame when it's gone. You hear, and we didn't even go into that, but you hear the church fathers, all of them, are talking about the importance of the beard. Right? You read 2 quotes, I think.
Yeah, there's countless quotes.
Yep. I was reading some quotes last night by C.S. Lewis. He had something to say about the beard in the Screw Tape Letters, which is his imagination of demons trying to get humans to walk away from the Lord. Yep. And one of the things that a demon does is try to get the men to shave their beard. How's he say it? Thus we have now for many centuries triumphed over nature to the extent of making certain secondary characteristics of the male, such as the beard, disagreeable to nearly all the females.
Mm-hmm.
And there is more in that than you might suppose. C.S. Lewis is saying in that, he's imagining there's more going on when you get a society, especially of women, to find the beard unappealing, unattractive, and get the men to go against nature to shave off their beard to appeal to the women. He says you're actually having a bigger victory there than you might imagine.
Oh, interesting.
That's Lewis. Charles Spurgeon speaks to it, right? We didn't talk about Augustine. Augustine writes, actually in his commentary on Psalm 133, which is probably where I came across it, the beard signifies the courageous. The beard distinguishes the grown men, the earnest, the active, the vigorous, so that when we describe such, we say he is a bearded man.
Does he talk about shaggy breasts?
No. Nor does he talk about saggy breasts. Neither. But he says, what's so cool is he says, whether a guy actually has facial hair or not, when they act like a man, we call him a bearded man.
Yeah.
That guy, based on the way he lives,
he's a
how are we
bearded
gonna describe his masculinity? We're gonna say that guy's a bearded man.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, in the city of God, he says that it is a masculine ornament.
Yeah.
So it's an ornament. It's a of masculinity. It's a something you would show off as a sign of masculinity. Yeah, Augustine definitely.
Or Augustine.
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato. Augustine.
Like Augustine. Whatever. New King James, ESV. Yeah.
New King James.
Augustine, Augustine, tomato, tomato.
Augustine.
Potato, potato. All right.
Tomato.
Tertullian.
Potato. Tertullian. Good.
So Augustine said that. Tertullian said on the apparel of women, he's 2nd century to 3rd century AD, Tertullian is. This sex of ours acknowledges to itself deceptive trickeries of a form peculiarly its own, such as to cut the beard too sharply, to pluck it out here and there, to shave round about the mouth. Roundabout being round about the mouth. So yeah, Tertullian would agree that shaving the beard, is a deceptive trickery.
Yeah.
And it's a form that's peculiar to men.
So then the question is, how do we get a culture of faithful pastors who saw the beard as, I don't want to put words in their mouth, who shaved? A generation of faithful pastors who were by and large clean shaven. Sort of the icon would be
shamed or
no, America's Preacher, Billy Graham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of the poster boy for clean shaven.
Sure.
Now here's what if, two things. What if it has something to do with the post-Enlightenment feminism movement? What if?
I'm sure it does.
And this is an interesting historical fact. In World War I, they needed a tighter seal for their soldiers when it came to the gas masks.
Yep.
And so you've got an entire army that's clean shaven now. For war purposes, and they come back as heroes.
Yeah.
And so the question is, you have two things that are kind of happening simultaneously. You've got feminism shaping the world, especially the Western world, more than anybody realizes at that time. And now you've got an entire class of men that come back from the war clean shaven. And I mean, these guys are, they're American heroes. Like
Mhm.
it just so they're then. So I don't know how all of these things coincide, but there becomes around that time. I mean, you don't even have, like, there's so few pictures of Christians prior to the 20th century that don't have a beard.
Mhm.
I mean, any book in my office, old book that has engravings, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time period or what part of the world you're from. All of the guys are sporting beards,
Mm.
and then that disappears in the 20th century. I mean, really, up until then, it was so uncommon not to have that. Well, now you've got, for whatever reason, you've got this growing movement. I think it's got its roots in the feminism, four waves of feminism. We've already talked about that,
Yeah.
which also coincides with what C.S. Lewis writes in the Screw Tape Letters.
Sure.
Um, well, now the hippie movement starts picking up, 50s and 60s, and they're all growing their beards out like crazy, long hair, and they're seen everywhere as the societal rebels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so now you've got, from the 50s, 60s up until present day, this idea that the Billy Grahams of the world are clean shaven, facial hair is of a rebel type. How do you know that guy's a rebel? Well, he's got tattoos. That guy's a rebel. How do you know that guy's a rebel? He's got longer hair. He's got facial hair. He's wearing sandals. Like all of these physical markers. And now, in our day to day, like Desiring God published something a couple years ago. Greg Morris wrote an article called "O Beard, Where Art Thou?"
Oh yeah, I read that one. Oh.
Full of puns. It's very punny.
And Morris is a good writer.
Yeah,
my favorite on that website. But.
Yeah, and he's making an argument that he's making my argument in his article to say it's, I don't think he uses this word, but it's fitting because of the confusion in our culture today when it comes to biblical masculinity and femininity. If a man has the ability, and not everyone does, right? I'm not going to name drop, but I have some of the most influential pastors in my life are just not able to grow a beard.
Sure.
And so they haven't. And I don't think anything less of them because of that.
Sure.
But if you can, I think it's wise. And for the women out there, if your husband can grow a beard, I think there's more going on in his beard than just your preference. I think there is
let that sit there.
I think there's a spiritual component to your God-seeking husband. I think there's more to his beard than we realize.
Well, sounds like we'll finish there. So the question is, to beard or not to beard? And that is the question. We want to hear from you. What do you think? Are we just quacks, whack jobs? Or is there evidence enough here to say that you should grow a beard? Should we do a second episode on what happened to the beard? Maybe like a follow-up?
That'd be interesting.
To see, maybe dive into like what happened in culture that caused us, because you got me asking, in my mind, I'm just asking all kinds of questions about like what happened. And that's an interesting theory that it had to do with, World War I, coming back, clean shaven. I'd never thought of that. That's really interesting.
I don't know. That's
side remark, just, interesting tidbit of history. Hitler got the mustache because he didn't want to shave all of his beard or all of his mustache, whatever he had before that. And so he figured out how much he had to shave to get the gas mask to fit tight, and he left the rest. And so that little Hitler mustache is actually a result of World War I and the gas masks.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, so maybe that was a sign of rebellion. Maybe that's why we just started shaving. We're like, Hitler valued the mustache a little too much. We need to rebel against it. We can't have that, right? Like the post-World War II consensus that thou shalt never repeat World War II. And that's a part of it. I don't know. Like, I really want to dive in now and check that out. So let us know what you guys think, if we should do that. And anything else, Pastor, brother?
How good and pleasant it is when Christians dwell together in unity. So we're not going to get divided over this, right? We're not going to split hairs.
Bum-bum.
We're not going to. Yeah.
We want to be on the razor's edge. We want to make too fine a point.
Right. Yeah, good. All right.
But
we need to close this quick.
It's going off the rails. Jeremiah's got cucumbers to put on his eyes before he preaches today to get that nice shiny look.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Leviathan is bound. Go take his stuff. Until next time.
All right. Excellent. Is there a button that just end?
Hold on. We're trying to
finish.
I'm trying to zoom in on your beard, but it didn't work. This is terrible. I don't know. I can't hit the button. I don't know how to do it. You have to do it. We're still live.
And we go here.
We need a producer.